This is the very first picture that I ever saw of Coco, and the very next day I went to the rescue group home and I brought Coco back to her forever home with me and her sister Callie, which you'll see her in a minute. She's also a rescue kitty. These are some of my favorite pictures and videos and memories of Coco. She was such a hyper, crazy little kitten, and still, even being a year old, she still is just as crazy and hyper. She's such a happy kitty. Her and Callie took 4 days to get along, but it was so worth it. They love each other so much. They're the best of friends and the best of sisters, and they are inseparable. It's so cute how they are together. So I'm gonna jump right into where this story kind of begins. So last spring, last April, just a few months ago, I suddenly, unexpectedly, had to go to Florida for a family emergency. I didn't know how long I was gonna be down there, so I packed all of our things, and the kitties and I drove pretty much across the country down to Florida together. And after a few weeks into our stay, Coco began vomiting. And at first I thought maybe it was the stress from my dad's kitties that were in the home because they were not getting along, and then I thought maybe it was something bad that she ate because she had vomited a piece of a rubber band and a sticker, and then there were hairballs, and I thought it was just maybe something that would pass, but it didn't. And she continued getting sick on a daily basis until the day that I gave her a kitty probiotic, and suddenly her vomiting stopped. I was ecstatic. I thought this was all over, and I was so relieved. So at this point, we had made our way back home safely, and it wasn't until about the 12-day mark when Coco began getting sick again. And one day I knew it was really bad when she hadn't ate anything all day, because that's so unlike her. Normally she eats all of her food and then Callie's food, and then she even wants some of my food. So I knew it was so weird when she didn't have an appetite. So I had an appointment scheduled with our family vet for a few days ahead, but I couldn't wait any longer. I knew something was wrong, so I took her to the emergency vet that night. They did x-rays, which showed no blockage, and they also ran blood work on her, like a full blood count and chemistry panel. When the results came back, the vet was very, very concerned and very shocked. He said they had never seen that high of a white blood cell count before. The normal white blood cell count for a cat is 1,000, and Coco's levels were 130,000. So it was out of this world, skyrocket high, and they said they'd never seen anything like this before. They also said that this pointed towards a white blood cell cancer, and I was devastated and heartbroken. So we followed through with the vet's suggestion to have a bone marrow biopsy done for Coco to verify and confirm if this was indeed a white blood cell cancer that was causing her white blood cell counts to be so high. So we went through with the bone marrow biopsy. So Coco's back is shaved, and right there you can see where the needle went through because she had a bone marrow biopsy. This arm was shaven to draw out blood, and this arm was shaven for her IV. And her little tum is shaven because she had a abdominal ultrasound and a few biopsies of her lymph nodes that were enlarged. And it did come back a very rare eosinophilic white blood cell cancer. One of the hardest things that I've ever had to hear. If you have fur babies, like, you completely understand. They're like your children, and you never want anything bad to happen. So from there, Coco was put on a few different medications twice a day. We were referred to a vet oncologist, and since then, Coco has had a number of blood tests. She's had an abdominal ultrasound. She's had biopsy tissue samples of some of her organs. But some good news is that Coco has done really well on her medications, and they have helped her bounce right back to her normal crazy hyper self, and she's doing really, really well. And now moving forward, the vet oncologist wants to do chemotherapy for Coco to help fight the cancer. So this is where we are today, and this is what we're facing with currently. Coco is due to start her first chemo treatments probably tomorrow or the next day. It's going to be sometime early this week. I'm still waiting to hear back from the vet oncologist, but it is going to be very soon. And of course, the treatment for chemo is not cheap. She's gonna have to have this every few weeks, and it adds up so quickly to a very high dollar amount, into the thousands, just for 1 year. And the vet oncologist says that Coco will most likely need this for the rest of her life, but they will be, of course, monitoring the cancer. I am trying to financially prepare for this as best as I can. So I'm making this video to raise awareness for Coco's story. I also made an Instagram account for her, so if you'd like to follow her Instagram page, I will have it down below, and I will also have it on the GoFundMe page information, so you guys can follow her and keep up to date with her story and updates. I will be posting a lot on that page for her. I of course also made the GoFundMe page, and I have a lot of further information on there. I go into more depth about Coco and her treatment and just our situation here at home, and a little bit more about me and about us. I want to thank everyone for their thoughts and reaching out to me, and just every single prayer. I feel the prayers, I know Coco feels the prayers, and I appreciate them so much with all of my heart, from the bottom of my heart. Anything will help, even if it's just a prayer. So thank you guys so much, and I really hope that this situation turns out to be a miracle. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you from me, Coco, and Callie.